Okay, so this is the second video on programming in Python for the students who are doing distance learning, or for any students who are interested in doing the Python programming. So we're going to open Python, we click on idle, same as we did last time, and we're going to create a new file, same as we did last time. If you haven't completed lesson number 1, you must complete that lesson first, otherwise you won't know what's going on here, right? So please make sure you go back, do lesson number 1, then you can start this one. Okay, so I've created a new file. I'm going to click File, Save, and we did this last time. We talked about it in the first video. We save our files first so the computer knows what type of file it is. I'm going to call this file input.py, and remember the .py tells the computer it's a Python file. And I've called it input, and you'll see why very shortly. I'm going to click on desktop, and I'm going to save that file to the desktop, and I click Save. And you can see at the top of the page here is my file. It's called input.py, and it's there ready to go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to talk about comments. Now, a comment is a line you write in the computer program that tells you some information. It doesn't actually do anything, it just tells you some information, reminds you of what this program's about. So I hold down the Shift key and I press the number 3 on my keyboard. It could be a bit different on yours, and this hash symbol comes up. It's really important that you see that. When you see that and it's red, that means that everything after this hash symbol is just going to be words. It's not going to be used in the program. It's just a comment. It's just a reminder. So in my comment, I'm going to write my name because I'm the person who's writing the program. I'm going to write the date. So I'll put November 2020. And I'm going to put the topic. And our topic today is input. In fact, we might also do an if-else statement as well, right? So I'm going to put input and if-else. So you can see my comment reminds me about what's going to be in this program. Okay, so now let's start the program. Last time when you did the computer program, we did print statements. And the print statement was a simple, we write the word print, bracket, inverted commas, welcome back to Python. Close inverted commas, close brackets. Oh, I've spelt welcome wrong, so I better just go back and edit that and make sure I spell it right. Welcome back to Python. So this was a print statement. We did this last time, and it's pretty simple. Now we go up to File and we hit Save, or we could press Command S, which will save it. On a PC, I think it's Control S or Alt S will save it. So we've saved our file. Now we go to Run, and we run the module, and there you can see our statement came up. So we know that that's right. That's what we did last time. Now, today what we would like to do is we would like to ask the user, that's the person who's playing on the computer, we would like to ask them some questions. So we might do a simple statement. Print, in brackets, inverted commas, what is your name? Close inverted commas, close brackets. Save the file. I'm hitting Command S on my keyboard, or you could go File, Save, and then we run the program, run module. And the lines came out, what is your name? But the computer program's ended. See those 3 greater than signs? That means the computer program has ended. So it hasn't actually asked me anything. We've just printed a line. So I've kind of got it wrong. I really want to ask a question, and I want the user to put an answer in. So if I want the user to put an answer into the computer, that's called an input. When you put something into a computer, it's called an input. So I'm going to change this word print from print to input. I'm also going to add a question mark at the end of my sentence because it's a question. And I'm going to hit Save, Command S or File, Save over here. Now let's run my program and see what happens. So this time when I run the program, it says, welcome back to Python. What is your name? But the computer program hasn't ended. It's waiting for me to do something. It's waiting for me to input some information. So I'm going to put my name in, Nick. And now you see the computer program ended. So it's got my name. Now there's still a couple of problems. You can see here, there's no space between my name and the question mark. And I want there to be a space. So I'm going to go up here to my program. After the question mark, I'm going to put 1 space in. So now when the user the person using the computer uses the program, it won't be next to each other. The second problem is, once the program ends, the computer forgets my name. It won't remember who I am. So I want to store that information somewhere. I want to put my name in a box somewhere so the computer remembers it or keeps it. Now, what I can do is I can make a box here, and I'm going to call the box name. And I'm going to say that equals whatever the user puts in. So I've created a box here called name, an imaginary box here called name. And this box will store any information that the user puts in, right? But it's not going to print it back out or anything. It's just going to store it, right? So I'm going to save that and go File, Save. Now I'm going to run it again, run. And my program runs again. Welcome back to Python. What is your name? I'm going to put Nick. And it seems like it's done the same thing. It doesn't look like it's done anything special. Except now, because I know this word name is in here, I know that the computer has remembered my name. So I can prove that. So I can go down here and I could write print, and then I could put a bracket, and then I could write the word name, and then close the bracket. I need to make sure I spell name correctly. Name. Close the bracket, save my program, and then run it again. Now, when I run it, it should say, welcome back to Python. Give Python a capital P. What is your name? I'll enter my name, and once I enter my name, it should print it out again. So let's have a look. Save the program, run the program. All right, welcome back to Python. What is your name? Nick. And this time it remembered it, and it said my name back. So I know that this box here stored my information. This is called a variable. When a variable stores your information, that's what a variable does. It stores your information. I might even put up in my title up here, variable, because that's something else we're learning today as well. So in my comment, I've added the word variable. Okay, now I don't want it to say just Nick. I want it to say, hello Nick, how are you? So what we could do is we could go to this print statement, and we can change it. We could put inverted commas like we normally do and write the word hello, and then we could put a comma and close the inverted commas, and now it looks like it's going to say print hello, and then whatever name we put in the box there should work. But we need to put a little comma in here first. A little, and it has to be outside of your inverted commas, it needs to be black. And what that does is that joins these two together, okay? That says it'll print this word, and then it'll join on this variable, it'll join that on the end. So let's try that. I'm going to save that, file, save, run that again, run module. All right, welcome back to Python. What is your name? I'll use a different name this time just so you can see that it works. I'll write Simon. If I hit enter, it says, hello, Simon. So it's giving my feedback here, hello, Simon. Now I could even take that comma out. We don't even really need that one. So now it's just going to say, hello, Simon. So I have taken an input, that's what this is here, an input statement from the user. I've stored it into this special box called a variable, and then I've printed another statement and I've used the variable in here, okay? So that's one way we could do it. Another way we could do it is we could set up the variables first. So I might have a new variable and I might call it user equals, and I'm going to write in here in inverted commas, Sally. Okay, so I've put one in called Sally. So I've created a variable, created a box. I've put in it the name Sally. I've put inside that box. And now I am going to print this one as well and see what happens, right? So I could do print, brackets, inverted commas, hello, close inverted commas, comma, Sally. User, because my box here is called user, right? User, close my brackets, save it, file, save, run that and see what happens. So, welcome back to Python. What is your name? Right, my name's Nick. Hello, Nick. And then it says hello, Sally as well. Now, do you notice this line didn't do anything on the screen? It didn't print anything. It didn't do anything. It's just a line saying, There's a box and it's got Sally inside of it. And then here says print hello and whatever's inside that box, whatever's inside that variable. That's what it's asking me to do there. Okay, now I could change this sentence. I could change it from hello to have you, have you met my friend named, and then I could put the name in. So it's going to print, have you met my friend named, and then whatever's inside this box, inside this variable. And in this case, it's Sally. So I'm going to save that, file, save. Then I'm going to run it, run module. Welcome back to Python. What is your name? My name's Nick. Hello, Nick. Have you met my friend named Sally? So now it's giving me another line. So now it looks like, or it pretends that the computer's actually talking to me. So that's a really interesting way we could do it. And we could even put another question in here. Have you met my friend named Sally? We could make it an input, and we could have the user say, yes, I know Sally, or no, I don't know who Sally is. We could do that. That's another thing we could do. We're not going to do that now, but that's another thing we could do. All right, we're going to go down a bit further, and we're going to have a look at if else. Now, what we could do is we could see if the computer remembers who you are after we run the program later. So what we could do, we could say if the name that the user inputs, that's up here, if the name that the user inputs is exactly the same as the user that we've had before called Sally, colon, I've got to put a colon at the end of this sentence, then we could print in brackets, inverted commas, welcome back. Because that would be saying if the new person who's input their name is Sally, and we already know who Sally is, then we're going to say welcome back. We're going to say welcome back to Sally. We can even put in our user in here, so we can put comma user, right? So it's going to say welcome back Sally if it's the same. If it's not the same, we write the word else, and it's in orange, you'll see, and it's lined up differently. See where they're lined up? That's really important. Then we put a colon, and then we could write print hello. Oops, I forgot my inverted commas. Hello, close inverted commas, comma, name. So, if the person inputting their name is Sally, it'll say, welcome back, Sally. If it's not Sally, then it'll say hello and whatever the new person's name is. Okay, so we're giving it two different options. If it knows who Sally is, you say welcome back. If it doesn't, then it'll say hello to the new person. Right, so let's have a look at that. Let's save that. File, save, run module. Okay, welcome back to Python. What is your name? My name is Nick. Then it says, let's have a look. Hello, Nick, right? So it does that. Have you met my friend Sally? So it says, hello, Nick. Have you met my friend Sally? Then here's our if statement down here. Have you met my friend Sally? Then it goes to the next line that says, hello, Nick. So it said, is Nick the same as Sally? Well, no, it's not. So therefore, we're not going to run this one. We're going to do this one down here and say, hello, Nick. Right, let's try it again, except this time I'll put the name Sally in. So it should say to me, welcome back, Sally. Let's try that. Let's go, click here, run module. Okay, welcome back. What is your name? I'm going to write Sally this time, right? Hello, Sally. Have you met my friend Sally? Welcome back, Sally. So we can see here, it says, welcome back, Sally. It chose this one instead of choosing this one. See, on the previous one, it said, hello, Nick. But this time, it remembered Sally's name, and it said, oh, welcome back, Sally. So this is a little if-else statement. If one thing is the same as the other thing, then do this. Otherwise, you can do this. Now, I can make it really, really confusing, and we could add another person, okay? So we could go into here, up the top here, I'm going to put in user number 2, and we're going to make their name Peter. Okay, now down here, if the name equals user, which would be the first one, Sally, then you say welcome back, Sally. Or if the name equals user 2, how do we do that one? So let's put in another line here. This is a difficult one. This is called an elif. E-L-I-F. And we're going to say elif name is exactly equal to user 2, which is this one. So if the name is exactly equal to user 2, so the new name the person puts in, if it is Peter, if it's the same as user 2, colon, then we're going to say print in brackets, inverted commas, we have not seen you before for a long time, close inverted commas, comma, user 2, brackets. Now there's a lot there, so we better talk about this really quickly. If we've got another variable in here called user 2, and his name is Peter, that's our user 2, his name is Peter. If the new person up here, his name is Sally, then it'll print out this line. Otherwise, it'll go down to here. The new person who enters their name, if it is Peter, then it'll print out this line. Otherwise, it'll always print out hello and then the new user's name. Right? So that's a lot. So let's just try and see if we can do that. Let's run our program. I'll put in Peter this time. And then it says, we have not seen you for a long time, Peter. So it didn't choose this row. It didn't choose this row. It chose this row that says, we have not seen you for a long time. So this is an if, elif, else statement. And there's a few key things you need to remember. You must make sure you write it exactly the way that I've written it, so that the if comes first, and then the next statement is indented, it's tabbed in. Then you write the elif, and then the next sentence is tabbed in. Then you write the else, and the next sentence is tabbed in. Also, there has to be a colon at the end of each line so that it knows that you're doing whatever is underneath that. Okay, so there's a few really difficult things here. We will go into those in the next lesson. That's it for this lesson. Have a try of doing some print statements. Have a try of doing some input statements. And if you're feeling really brave, try and have a go at some if-else statements.